And welcome back to another episode of Adamson Bracketology. This is our Sweet 16 recap of the men's NCAA tournament. You're probably looking at our scenery here. It's a little bit different and not quite usual. It's because we're making Easter preparations. Will and I, we picked out the flowers.
Yeah, we did Trader Joe's. Samantha Adamson, last place in the brackets, but first place in our hearts. Took care of all these cookies.
Yeah,
so
for us to consume.
shout out to the crew.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk basketball.
Let's dive right in.
We found our Cinderella.
Cinderella man.
Yeah.
And that is NC State.
Yeah.
The Wolfpack, DJ Burns, DJ Horn, all of these guys.
Yeah, the DJs.
And, I mean, they're the Cinderella. 11 seed in the Elite Eight with a very good chance to make it to the Final Four. And they look really good. They look really good.
It'd be crazy if they make it. You know, no one really thought they'd be here. I thought they'd be here, actually. Will knows that I almost picked them in my Final Four.
I think the last 11 seed to make it to the Final Four was Loyola Chicago.
Yeah.
Our
highlight matchup in our mind, I think, and I think this is the matchup that everyone's kind of not quite sure how they got to this point, but it's the Alabama-Clemson game.
for two very specific reasons.
It's a weird matchup because you have a 6 seed in Clemson and a 4 seed in Alabama, who they're just, you kind of forget that they even got here, you know?
Alabama was an inconsistent team throughout the regular
Yeah.
season, but they averaged 90 points a game,
Yeah.
so they can score. Clemson came out of nowhere.
I know.
They really did, but they've been having a great run in the tournament. Speaking of Clemson in the ACC, with 3 teams in the Elite Eight, most out of any conference, as the All Coast Conference is really picking up the reins of that. Big 12 is nowhere to be seen. I think there's a lot of factors for that.
There's a game you wanted to highlight that you haven't quite talked about yet.
Yes. Speaking of the ACC, Duke and Houston. Game I have not talked about yet, as Jared McCain, the freshman, taking over the nation by storm. I think it was a battle throughout the whole match. It was a dogfight. It was physical, and you knew it was going to be, especially with Houston. Unfortunately for Houston, Jamal Shed being hurt early in that game, I really shot their chances of winning. He's a leader, best point guard in the nation, and they were all over Duke those first 10, 15 minutes. And then he goes down, unfortunately, to another injury, and you hate to see that happen in the sport. And Houston, offensively, I don't think they just weren't able to keep up. Filipowski with a big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, we just, thank you so much for
Ben,
tuning
give
in.
us, before we end, give us your Final Four. Who are your teams going to be in the Final Four?
I'm going to take UConn, I'm going to take Clemson, I'm going to take NC State, and I'm going to take Tennessee. Well,
I'm going to take UConn, Clemson, NC State, and Purdue, and I think it's going to be UConn and Purdue in the championship matchup. We'll get to that another time in another video.
God bless.